Yo, it's Cisco Rosado, and you're tuned in. Hip Hop Weekly, all access. Check out my interview.
What I actually want to get into is basically your story about how you were raised and you were brought up. So maybe you should start off by telling us, like, where you're from and, your mom, your father, siblings, stuff like that, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn originally. So I grew up in Brooklyn in like the Williamsburg section. And, growing up was pretty rough for me. We didn't have a lot of resources. So I was forced out into the street at an early age and had to figure some things out because finances weren't there at home. So I had to quit school and, I turned to the street to start trying to figure out how to make some money and provide for myself.
Like, what did you do in the streets? I mean, I know some things people don't want to talk about, but if there's something you can talk about, like, what was it?
I mean, in all honesty, I was really just a hustler. And that just entailed anything and everything to make money.
Did you ever, get your diploma or ever went back for it at any point?
When I was 19, I went back. I started to call Hot 97 every day from a payphone. That's how long ago it was. There wasn't even no cell phones back then. And I started calling Hot 97 every day and I would, instead of calling to request a song, I would call and beg for a job. And then they would always say, there's no jobs. Then eventually one day I called in the program director, Reggie Hawkins, who's now the Sirius satellite program director. He was like, man, you're the guy that calls here every day. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what do you want? I said, I want a job. He said, there are no jobs. I said, okay. I said, you eat every day, right? He said, yeah. I said, well, maybe I can get your lunch for you. I said, maybe I can clean your bathroom, so, whatever you need. I said, I'm told him.
Very humble.
Yeah. Well, and mind you, at the time, I had a $100,000 Mercedes parked outside, my house because I was doing.
It really wasn't about the money for you.
No.
Okay.
It was about me starting a new path to make money legitimately, and in the career that I wanted to be in.
And it seems like you come off as a little playboy, and the girls love you, from what I see. So I want to get into your dating life, and I want to talk about some girls that you've actually, I don't know if you just was hitting, quitting, messing around with. That was my wifey, girlfriend, baby moms, whatever it is. I'll let you explain it. But I do want to start off by saying I saw an interview, and I heard, from your younger days, you're still young, but, younger than now, you were actually dating Robin Gibbons. Tell me about that.
Robin Gibbons and I were friends at one point in my life. We were cool. We actually just spoke recently on text or whatever, in which we hadn't spoken in years. Since around that time. But no, we were cool, and it's a crazy story, but I actually met, my best friend through Robin, which is Tank, the R&B singer,
Another girl that you had on the blogs with you, which
Shout out to Robin Gibbons, though. I'm sorry, go ahead. That's all love.
Another girl that you were actually on the blogs with a lot was Jennifer Williams. And I know she's actually done some interviews about you. And you guys kind of are not together anymore. Well, you guys aren't together anymore.
No.
And what happened with that story?
I mean, that's one of those things, man. It's like I thought we ended on decent terms, I found out that she was talking about me and saying some negative things, which is weird because whenever people ask me about her, I said positive things,
But you went out with Diamond Strawberry on the show after Jennifer Williams, or was it before? After?
Right. Diamond and I, we met around the same time, but we didn't start dating until later. It was just like one of those things where it's like you just meet somebody, and they cool, you exchange information. But then you wind up hanging out with them later on, maybe 6 months or so later. So
where did the Mariah Lynn thing come from? Because we've seen you with dark skin, dark and lovely Jennifer. You and Robin wasn't all the way there yet. And then you go to Diamond, and then here comes the Puerto Rican Fireball. It was just like a off the wall compared to what we're used to seeing you with. Even your baby mom, you know.
Yeah, but Mariah and I were never together. Like, we never even really dated. You know, nothing ever happened between Mariah and I at all. You know, we just, you know, we were cool, and you know, I think she expressed some interest in me at the time. I thought she was a nice girl. She was cool, but I really was just trying to, you know, get back at Rich at the time. You know, just doing some childish shit. Definitely got back to the music. I kind of laid off of producing music. I mean, I was producing music, but I was doing it mostly for the show. I just didn't have time, and I was just dealing with so much other stuff on a personal end. But just got a new studio that we built out, and I hired a new crew of musicians, and you know, back to making music the way I like to make it, which is fresh, organically. You know, creating every sound from live instrumenting and importing it over to the boards and building it up from there. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna start producing for all your favorite artists again. I'll be back doing that soon. The plan is to definitely showcase more of what I do as a businessman and as a music producer, and you know, and whatever else happens with my love life or whatever. I mean, it's really just playing out in real time. So we'll see what happens else. I need to get up on the Snapchat and all that other shit.
Yeah, we're gonna make him a Snapchat and we're gonna hack it.
I just don't know how to do it. It looks real confusing.
All right, I'm gonna teach him when we get off. I'm gonna teach him.
What you gonna teach me?
We are out, Hip Hop Weekly. Catch you on the next one.